Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be covering my newest LinkedIn scraper. So this is going to be able to scrape leads off LinkedIn, like hundreds of leads in seconds, and then it's going to enrich them with a program called Clay and then send them back to your CRM. So it's going to scrape leads with just a simple HTTP request in make.com. And then we're going to pass a bit of the information and then send it to Clay, where we enrich all of it. We find the email, we find the domain, and we basically get decision maker leads that are actually going to respond, not just like info and hello emails. And basically we can then use them for cold outreach, so we can send it instantly and then, you know what I mean, start sending nurturing campaigns and stuff like that. So yeah, this is really packed of information video, so I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so we are in mag.com now, and as you can see, this is the flow. You can see that we're using Clay. If you're not familiar with Clay, how it works is you input a bunch of variables of a lead, and basically it enriches the lead for you. So it does a lot of the hard work, gets emails, phone numbers, stuff like that. You do have to pay a monthly fee. It's you can use free tiers for, you know, like it gives you a certain amount of free sort of use cases every month, but then eventually you have to pay if you use it as to a certain threshold. But yeah, anyways, I think it is well worth it because it does a lot of the difficult parts that lead scraping is. So yeah, all right, here we go. Anyways, this is where we're going to start. We're just going to start with a set variable. So this is just going to be our lead profile. So this is who we want to sort of target. And the difference here than like a Google Maps target is you want to be, because LinkedIn, you need to be really specific. So you want to have what it is. So like a marketing manager, you need to have like keywords like SaaS agencies, location. You need to have all these things. You need to use like parentheses, brackets, quotations and things like that, because the more specific you are, the better, because LinkedIn has so many just random profiles and a massive database of people, and a lot of the time you might scrape and you might just get things that aren't actually what you're looking for. So you got to be really, really specific in your search, but you can't be too like informal with it. So yeah, those are just some tips that I give you. Make sure you use quotations and parentheses, stuff like that. Now, next is an iterator. So this might look a bit confusing, but how a LinkedIn scrape works is you do a HTTP, obviously, but you need a Google API custom search. So I don't know if I've still got it up, but let's say if we go to the Google console, I'll show you what you have to download. I'm sure you guys are aware of Google Cloud console, but this is the one that you're going to need for what we're doing today. Instead of like a place API one for Google Maps, you are going to need, I've already got it enabled, so I don't know if it's going to be able to find it for me, but it's called custom search API. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. You want to download this because this lets you do a custom search of kind of anything on Google, and there's a lot of steps to set up. Not a lot of steps, but there is some steps to set up. You need to get your API key, obviously, and there is one more step, and you need to like configure your search engine or something like that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find how I did it, but engine. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, but this might be it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so you want to come to this URL, programmable search engine, and you want to go add, and you want to name your search engine. So, you know, whatever, make it. I'll just show you what I did for my one. So this is what I've done. So I just called it LinkedIn, and then you want to get your search engine ID, and then you want to make sure you have search the entire web clicked on. And I think that's everything you need. And you also want to have sites to search, this linkedin.com/in. Just copy that, and that's going to make it so it searches LinkedIn only. That's all the setup you're going to need. So I've just helped you guys a lot there. There we go. So you want to do this URL, and this might look a bit weird right now, but what we're doing is basically every time you use this LinkedIn search, it can only do 10 kind of leads at a time. So obviously that's not really good for scale, because we want to be getting hundreds of leads, thousands of leads. So what you want to do is, when you're writing your URL, you want to put your lead profile in like this as a variable. So I'm sure you guys know how to do that. Do it like that, and then you want to write and num10, so it gets 10 results, because if you don't say and num10, you might only get 1 or 2. So you need to specify. And then you also want to do and start equal value. Now, we're going to go back to iterator in a second, but you want to make sure you do that. You want to make sure you pass the response. Now, coming back to iterator, you want to create an array, and you want to have an item. Each item, don't have it on map. You want to have it on just create your own. And you want to do 1, 11, 21, 41, 61, 71, 81, 91. And this is so it repeats this, the request 10 times. So we get 100 leads instead of 10. So that's really important. Otherwise, you'd have to have 10 of these HTTP modules, and that's going to look like a really bad sort of workflow. It's going to be ugly. It's probably going to use too many credits as well. So that's really important. You want to do that. Now, we want to have a filter. This is really important as well. This basically, because not every single search you're going to do is going to have 100 leads. Sometimes you're going to do a really specific one, and it's not going to be able to find 100 leads. So this basically eliminates any of the searches that weren't used. So if the length of data items, so data items is all the leads information that you got. So you want to make it length, and then data items in there, and then array operators. Array length is greater than, you don't want to do equal to, just greater than 0. So that basically means every single response that actually has something in it goes through, but if the response doesn't have anything inside of it, so if there's no items, so there's no leads left, it doesn't go through. So that just eliminates trying to search leads that aren't actually a thing, basically. That's the best way to put it. Now you want to come to your Google Sheet or your CRM, whatever, and you want to put your profile link in here. So this is the URL of their LinkedIn. This is going to be important in the rest of the flow. So we want to get their URL, because right now we have their URL. We might have some details of like their name and things, but we actually don't have a lot. We only really have their URL, but this is where we get the rest of it. So you want to come to text parser. You want to get the title. So this title is actually not going to be their name. It's going to be like, I would run it and show you, but I might do it at the end. It's going to be stuff like their name, business. It's going to say like manager. It's going to have like a big like sentence of like basically everything they are. So it's going to be like marketing manager, Anton, digital planet, something like that. There's going to be like a massive title. And what we want to do is we want to get a regex pattern right here. Copy this exact one that I've done. Make sure it's not global match, and make sure it's continue even if module finds no matches. So that doesn't, make sure it just doesn't like completely stop your whole flow if something goes wrong. You want to keep it running, and you want to have title here. So this is going to find their name. It's going to get the first 2 words of the title, and that's almost always going to be their name. So that's basically going to fetch their name, and that's going to be really important in Clay. So make sure you have this, and then you want to send another HTTP request, and this time we're going to actually scrape their profile in whole. It's not just finding them, it's going to be scraping their actual individual profile. So you want to have the formatted URL, which we would get from that. You want to do get, and then you want to do some of this, just copy what I've done here, accept text HTML, pass the results, and now we're going to get a massive response of like every single bit of detail on their LinkedIn. So this is really good because we can use it later to enrich actual emails and actual outreach. So we're going to be using these. You can keep on going and actually do cold outreach generation of like emails. So you want to do like, hey, use parts of their LinkedIn to actually write like personalized emails, but we're not doing that for this video. We're just doing scraping. yeah, you've got everything here. And now what we want to do is you want to put this regex pattern in, copy exactly what I've done there, and make sure, again, no global match, make sure it's case insensitive, and make sure it continues even if it doesn't find data. And you want to get this HTTP as the data. So this actually finds their company like name or domain name. So we don't actually have their company name yet, and that's really important for Clay. So basically these two, all they're doing is finding the lead's name and the company name or company domain. Now that we have those two, I'm not actually sure how this finds the domain. It finds it through looking at their LinkedIn URL, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyways, that's really handy that we can do this. It saves us from doing more scraping and unnecessary credit use. Now we want to send it into Clay. So I'm going to hop on Clay and show you how to set everything up, because it kind of is a bit confusing. But yeah, anyways, we'll jump into Clay. Here we go. This is what I've got in my workflow table. So you're going to want to come, when you get onto Clay, you want to create a workbook, and then you want to, when you're at this sort of page, you need to go to add, and then you want to find webhook. This is, I actually don't want to create one right now, but you want to create a webhook, and then you want to, when you've created that webhook, you want to go into the table that it creates with it, and then you want to be able to, basically you need a webhook as this like input, and then a table as the kind of output, I guess. So once you have this, you want to copy your URL, copy that, and then you're going to paste it here. You don't need a token or anything, you just need to post that. And then now whatever you send from make is going to go straight into your table here. So you can set up your table whatever you like, but I've got their name, company name, LinkedIn URL, snippet. This is just a bit of information that the scrape gave us. And then what we get here is a domain and a work email. So this is the magic of this. You can find their company website and their work email. So a lot of the problem with lead scraping is you're going to find emails, but it's going to be like, it's not going to be decision maker emails. It's going to be like info or hello at, or you know what I mean? It's going to be like emails where people who are actually trying to buy off them are emailing, not we're trying to sell them. You want to be getting emails where it's decision makers, it's managers of these big companies. So this solves our problem. Basically, if you don't know how this works, you just want to come add a column, add all your columns. You want your name, your company name, LinkedIn URL, snippet, etc. And you want to make sure that each of these is actually written. So we have name, and then we have the correct variable. We have company name. You want to make sure it's exactly what you have in your table. You need it to be word for word, and you have to have all the capitalized like the same as well. So basically everything goes in the right column. So we have snippet, and then from snippet, and then these are generated within the app. So how to do that is you come to enrichments when you hit action, and then you want to find work email. That's what I'm using, and company domain. So I've used these two. So those are the only two that I've used. And then I also have an add row which sends all of this table back to Google Sheets. So I'll show you how to set this up as well. You want to go to actions, exports, export to CRM, and then whatever your CRM is, you can do HubSpot, whatever, but I'm using Sheets, and you want to click Sheets, and then once you've hit Sheets, you'll get prompted with, let me just show you what it looks like. You'll get prompted with something like this. You want to put your Google Sheets URL. So you want to make sure your Sheets URL is actually public. So a lot of time people don't do this. You want to click share, and you want to make it editor for anyone with the link. So otherwise, Clay's not going to have permission to edit it. So you need to do that. there you go, you have your link, and then you want to make sure it's the right sheet ID. So you want to pick LinkedIn leads or whatever your sheet is called. Now you want to match up every single column with the variable that's correct. So you want to have name as name, B name. So that B name is, this is basically just lining up what my sheet has. So I've got B name, but obviously you're going to have probably different names, but yeah, you want to line up everything, and you want to have your domain as the output column of the enrichment and email as well. So basically that's everything. Now, whenever you generate leads or you run, it's going to send it to Clay and then send it to your CRM with all the enriched information. Now, this is such an important and powerful automation. Like, I can't believe like how good this is, because you can just scrape and find so many leads. You know what I mean? You can also do phone numbers as well. You don't have to just do emails. You know what I mean? You can do, what is it? Phone number. I mean, sorry, you can do, let me go to actions. You can enrich so many different things. Like this platform is crazy. Like you can do phone, or I don't know, yeah, mobile phone. You can find so much information about them, and just make your cold outreach and your scrapes like infinitely better. So yeah, it's really, really good. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'm probably going to start creating like JSON. I'm going to probably start exporting these sort of systems and putting them onto Gumroad, or yeah, sending them to you guys, because I've been getting like some emails about systems, like people wanting me to send like the JSON or the file of like my scraper or my whatever system I'm making a video on. So I'll probably start making a Gumroad or like a sort of marketplace where you guys can go and pick up some of these systems for yourself and just download them without you having to actually, you know, follow step by step and set it all up for yourself, because it is confusing. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions, again, leave them in comments. I'll probably will be creating a Gumroad or a marketplace soon where you can just buy these files off me. So it just saves you guys a lot of time, because I have been getting emails with a bunch of questions and people wanting the files and stuff like that. So I'll set up something in the near future. But as I said before, if you are a business and you just want me to set this up for you guys, you want some B2B scraping, some cold outreach done for yourself, please just email me. I'm always happy to help and listen for, you know, your guys' problems and find solutions. So yeah, please drop in the comments if you want a specific kind of system build or idea for the next video. I'd love to see what you guys want me to build for you or showcase. But yeah, thanks for watching.